welcome to the Screen Time Continuum. We are here with you on this wonderful Sunday to give you a new review from 2023. My name is Keelan, and I'm here with the fellas. What's going on, Mike, Nick? How you feeling, guys?
Feeling terrible.
I'm
That's only
feeling
temporary.
okay, but now
Right.
I feel like I should say I'm feeling terrible in
Yeah.
solidarity. Yeah.
Should we all be feeling down and dreary? Should we just jump on into that scale?
Oh no, we're back on from hiatus, and Mike is back, so we got to
Yes,
celebrate.
sir.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Indeed. So we are here, full force, right here at you guys, ready to hit you with a full assault. And we hope you're ready because we are coming at you to review a 2023 movie, something that came out this year. In fact, it came out, well, not this month, but within the last month. Let's see, today is the 11th, and this movie came out on May 12th. So, as of tomorrow, it came out exactly a month ago. The movie is titled The Mother. It is starring Jennifer Lopez and Amari Hardwick. You'll see a couple of other familiar faces like Joseph Fiennes and Jesse Garcia. But
Who? You mean Ghost?
actually, yes. Amari Hardwick is also known as Ghost. You know, it's funny. I actually realized that most people do not know who he is unless you tell them, "Yo, Ghost is in that movie," and they be like,
Right.
"Oh, snap, Ghost!" And it's like, wow.
It's a culture thing.
Oh no, for sure, 1000%. And I'll tell you why I really don't blame them. Um, that was the first thing I thought was like, "Oh, this might be really good. Ghost is in it." And then I was like, "Well, his name is Amari Hardwick," and I clicked myself like, "Ghost is not in this movie. Amari Hardwick is in this movie, which means it might not be good, but it could be good." Um, I felt like they did just with the first two, Jennifer Lopez and Amari. I wonder what the budget was, and then you add Joseph Fiennes, and I'm like, "All right, you guys put quite a bit of money into this cast alone." But that being said, that's not the beginning of this. That's not a segue into this. Because this movie's pretty fresh, I'm going to stop right there and say if you have not seen this movie, if you intend on seeing this movie, and if you do not want to get any spoilers, go ahead and turn away now because anything that I have not said, Mike has not said, Nick has not said, will be said after this statement is made. Forever, how long we go on with this one. But yeah, we don't want to spoil it for you. But if you don't mind, by all means, stick
Let
around.
me spoil it for you.
1000%. Um, but yeah, this movie is directed by Nikki Caro or Caro. I'm not exactly sure how they pronounce it, but I'm gonna say Nikki Caro. Um, I don't have anything else on this movie except for it's distributed by Netflix. Nothing else really jumped off the list. I expected Jennifer Lopez to be one of the producers in a movie she's in. I don't think there's a movie she's not a producer in that she stars in. Um, this movie is also still showing in select theaters. So if you want to go see this on the big screen because you're a Jennifer Lopez fan, because you just want to participate in seeing this movie, then by all means, go ahead and look it up. You might still find some show times. With that being said, let me give you guys the rough end plot and then let's jump into our first impressions. This movie and on Netflix actually shows the same, which is not always the case. They say, while fleeing from dangerous assailants, an assassin comes out of hiding to protect her daughter that she left in earlier in life. Um, and it actually says the exact same on IMDb. This is one of the rarest things I have seen in a long time that the exact same plot is across the board on the actual platform that it's showing on Google and on IMDb. That's not usually
It's
the
because
case.
there's nothing else to explain.
There is
Right.
nothing else to explain. But
Or Netflix
even
bought IMDb.
something, but I mean, we've had movies that were pretty clean cut, and even IMDb had some long, drawn out summary that gave you so many other details. It was like, so do I need to watch the movie?
Well, if you've seen any of the Bourne movies, the Bourne
Yeah.
Identity, any of those movies, you've seen this movie, you just have a female.
Born enough.
Any spy thriller movie, really.
Yeah.
It's just
I
the
wouldn't
old, like
I
the
wouldn't
old
give it that
dog
much
coming out of
credit.
retirement. That's that motif.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except in 12 years, this dog didn't age. Sorry, did I jump the gun on that one? So yeah, let's get into, I guess, the rest of our first impressions, and then we'll just touch on what's going on in this thing.
I don't believe Jennifer Lopez could do any of the stuff in this movie.
I disagree.
I'm not convinced. I don't even think she could be a real mother. I said it.
Damn. All right.
I said
It was
it.
the double down that made it solid. At first, it was like, no, that's a statement. And the double
Nothing
down
in
was
this
like,
movie
wow.
convinced me that she could do anything that she did in this movie for real.
I'm gonna wait for my turn.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a great movie. She's a great actress. She should be worshipped and not coddled. What's the other word?
But you said
We're not helping you on this one.
Nope, not at all.
Not looking for help for that. I'm just saying she is a strong, independent, female character lead, and she could hold her own like she did in the movie Cell, which was good, and this was not.
Fair
Okay,
enough.
you know what? Just because he made the Cell reference, I guess. Good first take, Mike. I get it. I see how you
That was
cleaned
the
that up.
olive branch.
Yeah, I see how you cleaned that up. Like at first, I was like, I don't know where he's going with this, but that if you're referencing this to Cell, which Cell would definitely make you think her acting career was going to take a whole different leap.
I'll up the ante and say Anaconda. I would have rather watched her in Anaconda.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, man, we're making her sound teachable in the early years.
I mean, there's just all to say that there's better Jennifer Lopez movies out there.
Right.
I guess, right?
Yeah, that's all.
When you have better scripts, better writing,
better story. Yeah, this thing is really it's really kind of just cookie cutter. I think that's probably its biggest problem, at least for me.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it, but I also didn't find anything notable about it. I don't even know if there was music in it. Yeah, so that's all I can really say is that there's just really not a whole lot to this movie that makes you.
It's not memorable.
It's not memorable at all. That said, it's also not like it's not awful, but it's very formulaic, and you kind of know what's going to happen before it happens.
You mean when they spend 1 hour on one baby daddy and then another hour on a second baby daddy?
Oh, one of them did not get a full hour. Don't you do that.
That's true. Yeah.
He got 25 minutes.
Maybe.
Well, he didn't really deserve it.
You know what? No, actually, in reality, neither of them got a full hour. Well, let's not get to that yet.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. I mean, hey, it's not much to talk about, so certain things I guess we can kind of save. Nick, were you?
No, I think that's all I got to say. Honestly, it just doesn't elicit any more enthusiasm from me. So, yeah, my first impression is as long as its description. So,
yep,
mine's may not be as long. I fully agree with everything both of you said. I'll elaborate just a little. 2 words: born enough. Mike was absolutely correct. I already made that statement about the Cell comment he just made. That actually really, honestly, that Cell comment changed my view of this movie really fast. I mean, I already was, but it might have just lost another point on my rating just because you brung up Cell. And I'm like, yeah, I remember forgetting that was Jennifer Lopez because it was so damn good.
I thought she did a great job in that movie.
Yeah. Comparison wise, yeah, you just hurt this movie a lot. But contextually for what this movie is, like Nick said, you saw it all coming beat by beat. And it came a little too fast, in my opinion. Pause.
Oops.
Yeah, made an oopsie there.
One
But
day I'll grow up.
nah, I won't.
But it won't be this day.
It
Right.
definitely won't be this day. But yeah, no, awkwardly enough, this was the fastest hour and 56 minutes that I've seen in a while. Simultaneously, it could have been longer and shorter at the same time. They could have fleshed out more of the story, and they could have skipped a lot of the bullshit. What we didn't need is a lot of talking in this movie. Like this is it's weird because it wasn't even a lot of talking, but this is one of those films where I almost feel like, damn, silent films can come back. It was that easy to tell this story where they didn't have to waste their time talking. And they wasted too much time talking. Like I'm kind of doing on this first take or this first impression.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, it's hard. This movie was hard to like for me.
Okay.
How so?
For me, it was hard for me to like it. I mean, like the first 15 minutes, you know, it's like duh. I mean, she's in front of the FBI agents, and since we're gonna get into it anyway, the very beginning, she's being interviewed by FBI agents, and they're all what's the word I can use? That's not the R word.
Incompetent.
There you go. See, I caught myself that time.
Nicely
Fair
done.
enough. Very well.
I mean, she literally is like trying to tell them like this is not safe, and then they're just like, "You can't tell us what to do." And then,
well, let's be clear, it was really only the one idiot, and I feel like there always has to be that one special agent that, and we have to call him special agent. There has to be that one special agent that's always that guy. You know, oh, I know better than you because you're the criminal and I'm the secret agent, man. Blah, blah,
then,
blah.
But then let me stand in front of the window.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because he's so smart. He's so smart. He's gonna stand right where he's gonna get popped. And nobody thought to black out the windows.
I mean, if they knew who she was and who she was ratting on, you would think they would do better.
You know, and this kind of was tricky too, because I thought there was going to be a bit more MacGyver to her character from this scene, because she creates that like incendiary bomb on the fly.
Tea tree soap, not tea tree oil, tea tree soap.
Right. And so I thought, oh, okay, that's kind of an interesting. Maybe she's a demolitions expert or something like that, and so she knows how to rig things together. But we really didn't see a whole lot of that.
No, that is the impression they tried to give us. That she was this deadly sniper, did tour in Kuwait, Iraq. I think it was Kuwait and Iraq.
That was my next point.
Tours in Iraq, 1,300 meters with an M24.
Right.
49 confirmed kills.
Right. That was the next thing I was getting to. The other female agent comes in and runs down her resume, and you're just like, really?
Then why she ain't got your job?
Yeah, why is she running around doing the things she's doing, and why is she ratting on these two dudes?
And what now? Okay, since we're already kind of into it, something I thought from the very beginning when they gave her rap sheet and who she was, how bad of a badass she was. Also because I probably won't remember it, I do remember when she was setting up her little station a little later in the movie, getting all her guns and stuff together. She had a Zippo that looked like it had a Soviet star on it. Did make sense?
I think it was a Texas star.
Texas star. Okay. So you saw what I saw.
Yeah.
But all of these tours and things she did, is like she was supposed to be such a Billy badass, and it's like,
right.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I saw it in the bomb making thing that she did, but other than that, not really.
Yeah, I mean through the movie, I didn't see it. Like it wasn't enough. We're gonna say that word enough. I mean a lot. Yeah, it wasn't quite enough. Her sniping ability through the movie, like them showing her through a sniper, and that looks kind of cool, you know.
They tried to allude to the fact that she can stop her own heartbeat in order to take the shot.
Is that what that was?
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought she was just calming herself down, but I didn't think it was going that far.
No, I think
she has
Adrian
her steady aim
says.
special ability.
Yeah, Adrian says like something about the fact that she can stop her own heart in order to take the shot.
That's not a good thing.
No.
That's called arrhythmia, I think.
Yeah, but I think they were more so alluding to she's heartless when it comes to taking the kill.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Oh God, what? Ugh, I feel
Man.
dirty after that metaphor.
Yeah.
No, I guess that's probably also a tangent, or
I mean, hey, look.
a connection you can make. Yeah.
Okay.
Look, she has a tick, and she doesn't even remember which side the tick is present on. Like she switches arms with her tick.
I didn't know. See, I didn't notice that either. You know what? I found it hard for me to keep paying it that close of attention to it. So it's just, all right. You know what? Just go ahead and get on with the story, because I know you got to tell the story too.
No. I mean, hey, we're already kind of into it. Like I think they get the point. We are never gonna find out this person's name. Their name is the mother. She starts off pregnant. She goes to the FBI house, and she's snitching. Just call it what it is. She's snitching.
It is.
Shit. I get tired of these movies where they try to make the snitch like, oh yeah, they're not doing anything wrong. Like, nah, they was a part of the nonsense. They're as much a criminal as the people they ratting on. And that's what makes them a rat, because they were a part of it. If you're a civilian, it's not snitching.
Right, man. You know what? That distinction is so. That distinction is very important, because a lot of people think that it's snitching when you're a civilian. It's like, no, it's not the same thing. But that's people on the outside who make those kind of comments, who think that it's all snitching and it's all ratting, and it's not the same thing.
I mean, hey, look, I'm a nobody. I'm a regular old Joe Schmo classroom kid, so it don't matter how I think about it. No way, that ain't my life. But I will say, as far as this movie is concerned, she was snitching.
She was absolutely snitching.
Yes. And why, we're not really sure, right?
Oh no, we are definitely sure. Oh
yeah, because she was pregnant.
Yeah, she pregnant, all right. Pregnant with that bullshit. She is.
I missed that part, I think.
So yeah, so this is. Yeah, so I guess we do have to go through it a little bit. So basically,
Nick is more attentive to these movies, so if you know he missed it, then
you know it was. That's why I say it was some bullshit. Did you see El Cucuy? I mean, the tarantula.
Yes, yeah. The drug dealer. Is he? No, he was just a weapons runner.
The Cuban dude.
They were some runners, all right. They did some things. They was moving things. So let me get there.
Trafficking. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. So she is snitching, but here's who she is, people. She was a militant who went and found this other guy and put him in league with this other guy. One guy knew how to move the product, and the other guy knew how to get the product. One guy was on top of the food chain, supplying everything that could be supplied to world leaders, the bad ones that nobody will let into their offices. And she was supplying more weapons and resources to that guy. Why do we care about her and what happens?
I don't know. Why are those guys who she ratted on
bad guys?
Yeah, why do they even care that she ratted? Because they're not in jail.
Oh no, because by her snitching, she gave up all the information she had. So their whole situation was.
But then 12 years had passed and nothing. And
you jumping the gun.
Well, no, it seemed like. Well, we already mentioned the 12 years though. Well, because it did seem as if. Oh, okay, no, he's right. We are jumping the gun. But I guess it did seem as if they were. One of them at least was living off of what had happened, what he had, not what he currently had. Because she even made the statement about how he ran everything into the ground. Alvarez.
Right. Well, she admits she was in a relationship with both of them. So both of them are potentially
Nothing. I'll bring it up when we get back to Cuba.
Okay. So she admits she was in a relationship to both of those guys, and then she's pregnant. So they never admit to which one's the actual father. And all I could think was, ugh, nasty.
I got that in the notes too. We're gonna get to that.
Right.
So and you're right. So she mentions that she's in a relationship. No, she didn't say that. And no, she did say that in the first one.
She
She was in
does
a
in the
relationship
first
with
scene.
both. Right? She doesn't tell the details of her relationship with both until later. But she was in a relationship with both, and we don't find out who's the father because she never tells us who's the father. In fact, she holds that hostage through the entire movie.
Right. Neither one. I'm the mother.
I'm the
Okay.
mother. It's me. She's
Hey,
Okay.
that's the
You did it
title
all
of the
by
movie.
yourself. Right. Because she did it all by herself. It was immaculate.
I'm done. I had to get through it. So she supplies and puts these two guys together, and then she goes and tells. My thing is, why are like even the lady tells her like, we're not too fond of protecting people who got 7 agents killed. Like
That wasn't her fault.
that was kind of her fault.
It was her fault because she was snitching, but it was their fault because they stupid.
Both
Yeah,
okay,
she
both
warned
are true.
them.
She warned them multiple times, and
Not even the
somehow
fact that
she was
she
in the
warned
safest
them.
spot. Somehow she was in the safest spot in the house. You notice?
Right. But
Yes.
here's the thing. Not only did she warn them, that part's irrelevant that she even warned them. They know who they're dealing with.
Yeah. Well, they say they know who they're dealing with, and
Right.
Ghost still ran upstairs and ran up in front of a window at the top of the stairs.
Exactly. So all your shenanigans was your fault. You know who these dudes are. So you sitting in the car like they not gonna see you.
Well,
One's a sniper specialist.
Well, when they ask her, like, so what are you here giving us? And she tells them all the different type of weapons they had, they were like, well, that's nothing. It's like, what do you mean that's nothing? So that's where we, after we get a couple more scenes down the road, we'll get to what she was really trying to tell them. Or what she really told was going on, because one thing that Lovell told Alvarez or told her, and then Alvarez turns to find out, he starts to help him with, is these people in high places, they usually want the kind of things that you can't access in other ways. So yeah, so she continues to tell them they're not safe. Cruz gets shot and she seals his wound with glue. After sealing his wound, they get away safely to the oh no, actually they don't get away safely. That's when Lovell catches her and stabs her pregnant belly, and then he's burnt by a tea tree bomb.
I'm pretty sure that Cruz is a vampire because he got shot in the chest, like in the lung or near the heart, and she just squeezed some super glue into his bullet hole wound, and then he lived. And then some other things happened to him.
Hey, we don't argue plot armor.
Right. He's got a lot of it, that's for sure. Because they beat that dude up.
Oh yeah. I mean, hey, he's a federal agent.
I mean, he did. Never mind.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yeah. So yeah, tea tree bombs that don't kill people. I didn't know you could turn tea tree soap into bombs. Should we keep buying tea tree soap in our house now?
I think you have to add some other things to it, but I don't know what she put in there. And we shouldn't discuss that on the show.
Right.
Yeah, maybe I should. My point was maybe it's not safe. That was my point.
It's definitely not safe. We can give that disclaimer for sure.
Right. So she's approached in the hospital and she's basically forced to give her baby up, even though she was basically coming to give her baby up. She makes it seem like it's going to be so difficult and she's not for it. Whatever. 3 rules that she gives Cruz: keep the baby safe, give her the most boring life she could possibly have, give her an update every birthday. I don't know if she's owed that, but whatever. And call her if anything goes wrong. Why would they do that? They're the FBI.
Right. And you're a civilian.
No, she's a criminal.
That's very true. That's
right.
She's a world criminal.
Right.
Man, why she didn't go to jail?
Prison,
jail, whatever. Why she was allowed to go free?
Because they want us to believe, they want us to remember at all times through this movie, she's attractive.
She got 47 kills, man.
47 kills.
I was my favorite part of the movie when they ran down her resume.
Right. 47 kills and a smile you'll never see.
Right.
Not one. Ever.
So yeah, we see her retreating into the mountains, and she tells her homeboy, if you see me in town, you don't know me. And I'm sitting there like, what town?
Yeah, the 2 houses and this gas station.
It looked like a cabin area to me. Like,
Yeah.
lady, the store
What?
he's at, the bridge that your kid stands. Oh, sorry, the bridge that you used to get in, and the cabin you're in are the only 3 things, excuse me, we see in this entire movie. What
Oh,
town?
what? But there's a medical place that they go later. So
Crap, you're correct. There is a medical clinic later. Um, but she receives, after settling in 12 years, fast forward, and she receives a non-birthday package and a plane ticket because something went wrong. And so the Agent Cruz is calling her in, and the next thing we see is her hopping off of a cargo plane and hopping in the back seat talking to Cruz, talking about Wagwan Miyut. No, I'm playing.
um, again, Cruz would be in so much trouble if he did this.
right.
Like bringing this woman into the
I
equation.
assume Cruz has lost his job already the moment he sent her that letter. Like, he can't be an FBI agent anymore. We never see him do anything FBI related.
No, he's
Except for
gone
drive a black truck.
completely AWOL. He's gone completely AWOL with her.
Because he's keeping his promise. Where was she for this promise for the whole 12 years?
And why is she the only one that can bring them back? Like there are Navy SEALs.
Man.
And
Okay, since we finna go into this, how come she's able to recognize all all the bad people and don't do nothing about it? Really?
Because she was in league with them. She knows them all. She vetted them all.
I know.
She might have slept with more than just the bosses.
Oh, don't body shame.
How so? Oh, body count shaming? Maybe.
Yes. Don't body count shame because reasons.
The reasons that we hear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't. Where were you going with that?
I don't know.
This movie doesn't know either, so
right.
That's why we're talking about it.
Oh, since we're talking about the nonsense, maybe I could be wrong, but couldn't they get more? Did they have to get the whitest baby possible?
Oh, the half Asian little girl.
Is that what she is?
Probably.
I was like, man, they couldn't even get a Puerto Rican one.
I think they had to make it more ambiguous because they didn't want to disclose the provenance of that child, right?
Yeah, because one of the daddies is white.
I guess that makes sense.
So it would have been easy if it was a Spanish kid to know who's daddy.
Right. Exactly.
You would have known exactly who the pappy was.
Right.
I just thought it was like, man, it don't look like the mama. She don't look like neither of the daddies. She don't look like nobody.
I think they don't want to tell us that the baby really didn't survive through that moment that happened in the shower situation.
Right.
That would have been a twist.
Right. Dang.
Yeah, she just lost her mind and she's playing war games in the woods.
Yeah. Ooh. Now that's the movie.
That
would
have been a good movie.
That would have been pretty sweet.
Some people wouldn't have made it out of them woods, but that's the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with that so I can like it.
Right. I just gained that point back for Keelan.
There you go.
Yeah. Fair enough. You kind of did. 0.5 up. Okay, wait. Okay, because I had to look it up. It looks like Lucy Paez is Mexican.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll take that.
So that means it was Alvarez's baby.
Maybe.
Well, he's supposed to be Cuban, right?
Yeah.
Close enough. I take it.
I mean, well, that's what I'm saying. They went and got a Spanish person to play the kid, and Jennifer Lopez is Spanish. Was she Puerto Rican?
Right. She's Puerto Rican.
He Cuban?
I think.
Dang.
They didn't even have to introduce the element of the father.
No, but they did.
She could have just been pregnant.
Well, because she was a whore.
Oh, jeez.
They call her that in the movie. That's not. It's nothing with me saying that.
Right,
they call her that in the movie. He calls.
So personal.
Funny. The tarantula called her Hector's whore because remember his name is Hector Alvarez.
Right.
That's literally what most of them were calling her, Hector's whore. But if we're being clear, I mean, so let's remember, Adrian Lavelle is her superior, and she's Hector Alvarez's superior. So, in essence, that kind of does make her a whore.
I ain't arguing.
I'm trying to validate the wrong things here. Sorry.
Are you?
Yeah, I guess so.
Where do we get caught up on this?
I realized I was like, where am I going with this? Like, really, that's where I said I was like, where am I going with this? What am I doing? So because I kind of lost where we were going with that, back to the mother stalking the daughter. So it's in the back seat with Cruz, or excuse me, the back seat of Cruz's vehicle as he's driving, and he hands her some photos and things and explains to her that they caught up to one of Alvarez's crew and they had all kinds of weapons and stuff, but they also had this, and it's a picture of the girl.
Right.
And she goes, "You can tell me her name now." And her name is Zoe. And yeah, I did the name just what? She's also we're not there yet, sorry. They stalk the kid. She still ends up getting kidnapped, and because of that, they have to go all the way to Cuba to.
Okay. Wait. Slow down before we get to Cuba. Why in the hell, when she was stalking the baby, and she got them at the park, did she not just shoot this dude? Because that's what she was doing. Why she didn't just shoot that dude that she recognized as one of the top lieutenants first?
I thought the same thing.
Why she didn't shoot him first? It's like, oh, I know who that is. Pew pew, you gone. Pew pew.
Straight up.
That's it.
Pop him. Shoot him in the tarantula.
Right.
Yeah.
He goes first, because that's when you cut the head off the snake. The rest of it dies. So once you get all the dudes at the park, that part's done. Then he can put her. Right, or they can go back into witness protection or whatever they need.
Yeah, I was saying you were not supposed to agree with her going to snatch up the kid, bro.
Why not?
Because the kid's supposed to go back home to her parents. The mom and father, who we only meet the mom.
You mean Cruz's sister?
Yeah. That's definitely Cruz's sister.
Oh shit! I did not put that together.
It's the only thing that made it make sense for me, because she was way too familiar with him, like he always been around.
Yeah. And how could he keep an eye on Zoe if
right?
Yeah,
that was Cruz's sister.
Had to be.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
I mean, that's the only thing that made it make sense for me.
That might be the most impressive part of this whole movie.
Likely another breach of protocol, though.
Right.
Or another breach of protocol. That means he stole the baby from the FBI. You think they would have okayed that?
No.
I mean,
conflict of interest much?
Did her husband have any lines in the movie?
No.
Oh, okay.
We saw him at the very end of the movie.
I'm about to say, no, we saw him maybe twice, but listen, all I'm going to say is this, and I'm going to say it in the way I have to say it. I'm very disappointed that you would have an interracial couple and you would have no effort, and I mean 0 effort, to have them be an actual couple on screen. Jeez. Like, in all the confusion of relationships and, it's just me and there's no father, and you have a married couple who's been taking care of this kid for 12 years, and we can't even get them hugging and holding each other when they lose their kid?
Well, you got to remember, this is a movie about strong women.
Oh, right. Sorry.
They don't show no.
I'm not saying, oh, right. Sorry, sarcastically. I'm like, oh, right. There is a direction here, and I'm not. You're right.
Yeah, because women, girls is players too.
Yeah. Damn.
Man.
You did not just say that. Look, you done got Nick off the screen. Dang. You made me lose my train of thought too.
My bad.
About the women thing that you just mentioned. You said girls as players. Oh, there was also never a bonding moment between the mothers, which bothered me.
There was no interaction, no, there wasn't even a sign of any kind of respect.
No, none. Not even a thank you.
Right.
Thank you for raising my kid. Thank you for saving our kid. Like something. Nothing.
It's been months. Where my kid at? None of that.
Nothing. We don't even know how long she's been gone. Like, I think the correct word is a cacophony. It was a cacophony of confusion and it was a bunch of confusion when it came to what was respect when this movie, like, mutual respect in this movie really didn't exist.
None.
And it all starts, if we're being honest, it all starts with when she says that she was in a relationship with both men at the very beginning.
Right.
She says that so flippantly
maybe
too.
not.
Like
Maybe not. They might have known. Maybe they knew.
I mean, maybe they knew, but why did that even have to be an element in the story?
Because they wanted to, if they were trying to make it seem as if they both knew, then to me that's a hint towards the movie Savages from a while back.
I remember that movie all too
The
well.
love triangle thing.
Yep.
Stupid ass movie.
And which would tell me that's exactly where they that's where they probably, like, they saw that and was like, ooh, what if she was the link in between? And then you get this movie.
And that's why I'm like, yuck.
Yeah, that was a kind of half-baked concept, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because Adrian is the only one that ends up mattering anyways. And so...
I mean, shit, she's older than both of the guys.
Maybe...
Spatter with baby batter.
What?
Sorry.
Jesus.
Listen, I don't even know what the hell that was. So...
I forgot my bleep button too.
Was that a bleepable thing? No. I thought I was respectful.
Yeah. So something that was said about that I thought was like, whoa, when she was talking about Cuba and she was kind of making it like it was this terrible, downridden place. And I realized that's what she kind of was doing when she was saying that Lavelle gave Alvarez a place, like a mansion or estate, and he ran it into the ground. And I'm like, wait, you didn't say that about nothing until you got to Cuba. I don't like it.
Reasons?
I mean, he left with millions in American money and went to Cuba and lost it. How?
Reasons?
Fair enough.
Yeah. Really, it just comes down.
She has her own bias.
Story reasons. Just get the story going, I guess.
He's get her done. Well, yeah. So they track down Tarantula. They pick him up at the bar. Basically, she beats the shit out of him, interrogates him, and then when she gets half of the information she wants, she kicks him over, and he dies on a broken bottle next to them.
That was a very strong piece of glass.
Can I just say that chase scene was terrible?
Yes, you can.
Oh, it was really bad. I got seasick. Whoa. I was getting so dizzy. There was that chase scene was, I think, at one point when the guy gets hit by the car and flips. Mm-hmm. There were something like 20 cuts within 2 seconds or something like that, 3 seconds. There were so many cuts in that chase scene that my eyes couldn't focus on the TV at all.
Yeah, that's nuts. Yeah, I know it was a lot. I kept looking away too, but I didn't realize how many it could have been.
Okay, and I also add one more.
It just was terrible.
It was terrible. I can add one more thing. Can we stop putting blue filters over cold places? It doesn't make them look more cold. It just makes it look stupid.
Blue and orange filters, people, they're just not listening. We've been saying this for so long that I think we should write a book about, as we've said in many occasions, that in which we have no classification to discuss. However, from our opinionated situation, that shit's stupid.
It's very dumb. Yeah. I don't understand because naturally they were shooting in Alaska. I mean, at least I think some of the B-roll was Alaska. Alaska looks cold without putting a blue filter over it. You could just make it look normal.
Especially in the snowy times.
Yeah. Looks cold. It just drives me crazy. It looks, I don't know. It reminds me of the movie Traffic. And I think everybody did it after the movie Traffic, where it was in Mexico, everything was yellow. And then in the New York.
It's always yellow in Mexico.
Yes,
Always.
yes,
In
because it's
every
hot.
movie.
It's
every
glaring hot.
yes.
Is
That's the
that what they're
sun
trying to
breaking off.
portray? Is
Yeah,
hot?
yeah. That's the
I
sun
thought it was
breaking off
supposed to
black
portray
and white.
poverty.
Wow.
I mean, it could represent different things
When you say
because
poverty, is that
in
to insinuate we all have oily skin, or
I don't know. I don't.
I don't
can't.
know, maybe a touch of like I don't know, but
Because
I think
I think Antonio Banderas went in that one movie, uh, with the guitar case. I can't think of the name of it. Everybody uses that yellow filter.
Once
Yeah.
Upon a Time in Mexico?
No, before that.
oh yeah,
Desperado?
There you go. That's the one.
I'm like, he's like in 4 different movies where he has the guitar case that's a weapon
Right.
case.
I was going with the original one.
I think it's Desperado was the first one.
I believe so. I mean, because they as far back as that, they've all done that yellow filter, and then Traffic did it everywhere. They did it in Mexico, they did it in LA. They changed it when they went to, like, I think Philly or wherever they were, where it was colder. So maybe that is a weather thing. I don't know. It just, every time they go to Mexico, they've always done that yellow filter in movies, and I always thought it meant, to represent poverty.
Hey.
Because they do it when
desert.
Because they do it when they go to the African countries too.
True.
And not all of Africa is a desert.
That's true.
Yeah,
Well, on film it is.
Right.
Right.
No, legitimately. Every time they do something in Africa, you think they always have it like in the desert. And it's like there's some lush green valleys and stuff, a lot of that place.
Jungles. Concrete jungles.
Congo.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you're absolutely right though. They don't show it as often, unless, as Nick just alluded to, it's a movie like Congo where it's like, oh nope, that's the only place we're gonna be at. Like, so you either get all jungle or all desert. You never really get the mix.
Man, you wouldn't think that they had.
Not even Wakanda had both terrains.
Right. You wouldn't think that they had any environment or temperatures that were tolerable. You would think it's always oppressive heat and just sweat all the time. You wouldn't think they had 80-degree temperature lands. You just don't. You assume it's always hot desert heat and tsetse flies.
And tsetse flies?
I mean, you got to get malaria from somewhere.
Fair. No argument on that. That is fair.
Anyway, back to this movie.
After she kicks Tarantula over. Yeah, that rabbit hole.
That was on me, actually. I mentioned the blue filter, and then we talked about the yellow filter.
Rabbit hole. So they go ahead and Cruz and her sit up in a room and they hang and they bond, and she rubs his back and stitches his wound.
Why you saved me?
Oh yeah, he got stabbed in the back.
Yeah, he got stabbed in the back.
That's the second injury that he sustained.
And all she did was put tape stitches on it.
Butterfly stitches. Yeah.
Yep.
He said he was a vampire.
Yeah,
I think he is, man.
These are markers to help improve his point. They talk about how she met Lavelle and then how she met Alvarez and put them together. And this is where she also explains what caused her to flip. Was she saw they were getting closer and found out from Alvarez, that Lavelle wanted a little bit more than just the guns.
Right.
And because she wasn't in, and this is my theory, I don't think she would have flipped if she was involved in the second side of the deal. I think there was more money in the other side of the deal, and because she wasn't involved and she's pregnant, she mad because she was left out.
I think the movie is suggesting that because she's a mother, she started to feel sympathy for
That's what they're suggesting, but I'm calling bullshit.
Okay.
Because she put it all together. She is the one who she didn't want to be an employee. She wanted to be a partner. She wanted to be on top of this conglomerate that she knows is creating, is doing war crimes. Period.
They were trafficking people. So I
Well,
mean,
yeah, they were trafficking people, but what I'm saying is she got into this world of the underbelly, knowing all of the different things that are a part of it. So until she becomes a mom, I don't think she would care about them
Yeah, she
trafficking
wasn't undercover. She was
at
just
all.
a criminal, like
right
you
Yeah,
said. Yeah.
and
again,
that's
why
what I'm
did
saying.
she get to
Kind of
not go to jail?
But that's what I'm saying, right? And that's what I'm saying. They do paint it at a certain point, like you would think she was undercover or something from the beginning. She was never undercover.
No, she was just a dirty crook.
She just flipped on her people,
Right. She was a rat fink.
right? So it's like you think to yourself, at what point what really made her turn? Was it her being pregnant and finding kids in a container, or was it that she didn't get her cut while she's pregnant?
Maybe she's a little bit mad that they got closer together and they were making deals outside of her purview. Yeah.
I think they were making deals for sure, but guess what? You didn't like. I think that's something she might not have understood. Your side of the deal was you put together the gun guys, right? Because that's what you could do.
Because she's a consultant. And she was tired of
She's
she got upset with getting the consultant fee. She wanted to
exactly.
be a partner. I
And
get where you're coming
she
from.
wasn't even that. She's a fighter. So you were able to make a connection from being you're just a trigger, right? You went
Actually,
from
she was really just some butt.
for
Hey.
them, yeah, actually, if we're being honest. But let's be nice. You're a trigger, and you had the ability to make this connection between two people you knew. At that point, like we said, like we just kind of alluded to, you got your consultant fee. What are you really mad at now? And that's why the question has to be asked. Would she have flipped if they had to cut her in on that part of the deal?
Probably not. Because she
I
would have
don't.
been part of it.
Yeah, I'm really leaning towards she probably wouldn't have, which would give us no movie. But that's not the point I'm making.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm kind of
tragedy, oh,
what I'm saying
tragedies.
is the character that they want us to look at. I'll say this through the movie, they never give us anything about the mother as a character to like. She simply is someone who gets the job done. She's here to protect her kid. She's not a good person, but she's here to do her job. In fact, she's a killer. That's all she
Yeah.
is. In fact, and she's nothing. She's not even a mother. She's just a killer.
Yeah. At that part I don't mind so much because they do that with like, the the stories of like the old wolf and the young pup thing,
Mhm.
and men are that character a lot.
Oh
So
yeah,
that
Yeah,
doesn't really
forgot
bother
about
me.
yeah. I'm not. I'm
forgot
not.
Um
about that.
I feel like
yeah.
they didn't paint with that brush as much as I think they could have.
Mhm.
I would have thought that was more refreshing. Like, yeah, I'm your mom, but this is what I'm capable of. This is what I do. So you need to be over there, which is essentially
Yeah, there
what the
was no
story.
depth to it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah,
Mhm.
there was nothing to keep you like, oh man, I like that part of the story. It's
Mhm.
there, but it's rude.
I like that part of the story because she gave that wolf a porterhouse and thought that was gonna save the wolf's life.
Shit, no, she thought
That
she
that
gave that
that
wolf a
one
porter.
strip of meat was gonna
Was it
save the whole wolf's life.
was it gonna get little Zoe attacked? That's what she thought. Um,
That's
so
another complicated part. Because she was a
they
great mom after that.
yeah, whatever. Uh, so after she does all of that, that's basically what happened before she went on this snitching party. Fast forward back to her having Zoe with Cruz. Um, Zoe is curious about who her mother is, and Zoe is already kind of doing her own research to figure it out. And she's curious to know.
Man, she figured it out
Oh
immediately.
no, for real. But she's curious to know if the mother will tell her that she's her mom. And she asks her, and she says no. And then she leaves because she ain't shit. I mean,
Agreed.
that's just is what it is. She ain't shit on that one. She has no
Right.
reason for her to just up and walk away from
Because
this.
she could have made sure that they was all the way home before she tried to ditch.
Yeah, but
And she
Well,
didn't.
you know what
then it
makes it
wouldn't be
worse?
right.
What makes it worse is that the daughter still got kidnapped,
Yep.
and the
Again.
mother, well, again for sure, but the mother was away for 12 years because she wanted to keep them away from her daughter, and her daughter still got kidnapped even though she was away for 12 years. So she could have just been with her daughter.
Right.
And they never tell us. What I assume is from the beginning, Cruz is going rogue because he knows that the FBI gave up her information. They leaked it.
Mm.
But they
Did
never
they?
touch on that. They never talk about any of that. We could have talked about that, how the FBI defected, right? Um.
I
Oh
guess
yeah.
that makes sense.
Also, really quick, just to dive in before we get into the rest of this, because the rest of this is pretty much action scenes. I think Jennifer Lopez did decent in a lot of the action scenes, but I expect her to because she's a dancer.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah, I
that
didn't. Nothing really stood out with the action scenes, and I think that's probably the problem.
If you so, I learned when I watched just watching it
Did
on the
she
playback.
fight anybody? I can't remember her
Yes,
fighting anyone.
yes.
She did,
I
she
was
did.
I was waiting for it to come up because I wanted to talk about it.
There we
And if
go.
you watch, I was telling Mike earlier, if you watch the fight scenes at least sped up like to like 1.5 or 1.5 or 1.2, excuse me, um, you'll actually see her steps. Like you'll see the 1, 2, 3, 4 count. You'll see the 1, 2 count. And it's weird that I caught it because I caught it on accident. But in regular timing, you don't see it. But if you speed it up, you do kind of see her pacing during the fight scenes. And it's like, oh
Yeah.
shit, she's dancing. And it's like, oh well, that is
Look, I'm gonna go on and fast forward to the fight scene
Okay.
after she teaches her daughter how to drive and shoot and turns her into a super killer too.
Hey, now what you say now? Jump ahead much.
I'm going to just jump on ahead because that part really irritated my soul, where she confronts him face to face and he throws his gun down so they can have a one-on-one fight.
Right.
Man, look. I'm sure she is a hand-to-hand combat specialist with her 108-pound ass. But that dude would have punched her one time and she'd have been taking a nap in the snow.
Hey man, that's what all the training was for this movie, man. She had to learn how to, use her size and take advantage. And
Did you see the way that fight scene was choreographed though?
It was dumb.
Yeah, like I said,
he had to wait. He waited for her to hit him
Right.
a few times in that scene.
He threw his gun down. Like, who does that?
Somebody who's trying to die.
Man,
I think it would have been better if she defeated him. Either I know that's we won't get that far, but I think there could have been better ways. Again, she could have been more of like a demolitions expert sniper person,
something,
and
like
they didn't actually have to fight people. Like
she was an intuitionist. That was her specialty.
Oh, what?
Exactly. Her intuition was her best ability.
Right.
Yeah,
Instincts.
I'm just saying.
Got the killer instinct.
Exactly. And we note that from after Cruz is taking Zoe home, they're ambushed, and then Cruz is executed. But what do we see right before Cruz is executed? We see the mother flying in on her motorcycle. Because
another stupid scene
from the beginning. So my question is, you didn't need to leave from the beginning. What made you follow them in such a haste?
Right.
The firecrackers?
Just cool, man. It's cool. It's cool.
It was stupid.
She's on a motorcycle, man.
I mean,
right.
Cool. She's on a motorcycle.
I think she was wearing a leather jacket too, right?
I don't remember that part.
Maybe because most of this movie's not memorable.
Oh no, she's wearing she's wearing a leather jacket
and a hoodie.
It's very understated, and a hoodie. Yeah.
Jeez, that picture makes her look even smaller than she looks in the movie.
It's because it's a big motorcycle.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. So yeah, she speeds in, and then Cruz is executed. But at the same time, she explodes the gasoline with the lighter.
Who's giving her that much time?
I mean, hey. and she told Zoe to run in that instance. Don't forget that. So that's when she chases Zoe down with the motorcycle, grabs her. They blaze on out of there and escape. And then she takes Zoe back to her fort.
Have you ever seen somebody jump on a moving motorcycle?
No.
Never seen a
because that's what you do with a horse, not a motorcycle. Right, they were thinking horse.
Right. I've also never seen a 14-year-old that can't run. Kids never run a day in their life. You can see it.
Yeah.
Man.
I believe that, though.
I could firmly believe that, but geez, give her some running practice.
And the Oscar goes to Running Kid. because that was a show right there.
You see it? That's how you run nowadays.
Oh
I
man.
think she was running through a ditch, though. So
Yeah,
maybe it was just very uneven ground. You know?
Uneven.
Well, if that's the case, when she would have stepped in one of them gopher holes, she would have broke her ankle.
Yes.
So let's tell the truth.
I mean, she. You know what? I'm not gonna drag the kid no more. She did alright.
Uh-huh.
I mean, what she had to. She couldn't outdo Jennifer Lopez. Come on.
Uh-huh.
Jennifer Lopez couldn't even bother to outdo herself, to be honest.
Right.
She just kind of phoned it in.
Netflix needed some money.
I mean, maybe they needed to launder some money, but I still don't understand how Netflix has money.
Episode.
I remember when they were great. It was
They still
12
make
years
some
ago
decent stuff.
when they were doing rentals.
Well, I'm about to say,
Rentals.
They only recently stopped doing rentals for the record. Just recently. They only recently stopped doing those. People didn't know.
There's
I'm
red
old enough to
boxes
know.
still.
Right, look, I'm old enough to know they did rentals and young enough to had never rented from Netflix.
Not once.
Yeah.
Not once. Once I learned about the streaming, I was all over it though, man. I love Netflix all the way up until like maybe a year and a half ago. It was like, what's going on here?
Maybe around the time they started doing movies
Gay
with
stuff.
Will
Gay
Smith
stuff.
and Jamie Foxx, as like flagship movies type things.
No, they just started mass producing content too.
That's
think
fair.
That's what it was.
Terrible content.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what I meant, because I was thinking like when they started bringing in the big names, like paying the bigger names to be on film.
I like the Will Smith movie.
I'm not saying they're not good movies. What I'm saying is, there was a point in time where Netflix, it seemed like their cast came through organically because they were either up and coming actors, or it just seemed like the projects were organically made, like they were nice, they were likable. Now they just seem like what Nick said, like they're all made for mass production. They're trying to catch up to the major production houses.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think they've outdone themselves, but yeah, you got comments here, Keelan.
Hey, what's going on, Corey?
Hey.
Corey says, hi guys, didn't watch. I was reading the reviews, which even the 6+ savaged this movie, and the good reviews all just trolled all the bad reviews instead of actually talking about the movie, which actually is probably funner than talking about this movie. Yeah, just keeping it real. I don't know how many characterized it as J-Lo's vanity project, but it was a lot.
Yeah,
it definitely seems like something she bankrolled because she wanted to do and be a part of the discussion today. I can definitely say that.
She said, I want to be John Wick. How do we do this?
Why don't I get an action figure?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, no,
if that was the goal, fail.
That's kind of it. Well, or Rambo.
Fail.
I go more Rambo, Born Identity, Born Instinct.
Born Identity is a good one, yeah.
That's why I said this is female Born Identity, but definitely not John Wick. And I would enough. Yeah, I wouldn't disrespect that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I know John Wick is decent. Wasn't trying to diss it, but
no, I know you weren't, but Jesus Christ, if that's what they were aiming for, poo.
Definitely not stylistic enough to be a John Wick movie. Need more tube lights. I mean, you got every scene has to have those neon tube lights in the background because it makes it look cool.
Yeah, energy-wise, this movie was very flat. Also,
very flat and dark. Again,
I wasn't so much bothered by the darkness. I expected, because it was dark, for it to get a little grittier than it was, which I was looking forward to see J-Lo in something that was gritty. In fact, I'll say that maybe that's something, a critique that she doesn't get often enough. Psychological thrillers, ma'am.
Stick with what you're good at.
With that, yeah.
Like
monster
it's
movies.
Not hard to know. Yeah, it's not hard to know what movie she does well.
Rom-coms,
of course.
I don't like them, but I know people do.
I will say this on air: Made in Manhattan was not a bad movie.
She's great in rom-coms.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm not gonna tell you to slap yourself.
Hey, listen, I said,
but
I will
You
understood
know.
what comes with it.
What about Geely?
Whoa. I don't think
Wow.
Giggly, you mean?
Giggly, yes. Giggly.
But
I never saw it either.
No one did.
Nobody did.
I remember that was the reason I know about Geely is because of how low. I think it was the lowest turnout of either of their careers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, and I was sitting there like, yeah, that didn't make sense for both of them to be starring in a movie. Why wouldn't people go see that? And I was like, I had no interest, so then I understood why. Anyway, after she snatches Zoe up from the side of the road, and she hops on the back of her motor horse. She takes her out. She takes her back to her hideout, and immediately Zoe catches on to her and John's codes because they're doing such a good job of coding it up.
Yeah,
Hey,
they're like the tea in Spain is very hot. Yeah. Come on, man.
Right.
it's some fish coming up. If you want to stick around, you could come on out for trouting season.
I only fry fish on Wednesdays.
Right? I ain't hunting no fish. Oh, what you hunting? Look like that look like too big for some wolves and grizzlies. You should get prepared.
Man.
Like, come on, man. And that's why I did definitely appreciate Zoe kind of calling her out, like, hey, so with you and your friend, like, oh, I don't know him, like, oh, okay, cool.
I'm 12. I'm not stupid.
Right. But yeah, that's the image they ran with. So anyway, they go to hunt food. She ends up and she's eating the deer that they just killed. Like, I'm not gonna eat, and it's like, this ain't even what we just killed. It has to cure first. But hey, starve yourself if you want to. She eats the rabbit anyway. The next morning, as Mike told us a little earlier, she forces her to learn how to drive because if she wants to get out of here, she's gonna do it driving, and she has to teach her all of her survival skills in a short period of time so that she can get her the hell out of her life, and they can both go back to their respective existences.
Yes,
it is what it is. That's what's going on. But basically what she's really saying is she gonna hold her captive and as bait until Lavelle comes so she can kill him.
Right. That's the truth of what it was.
Yeah, I keep telling y'all, she's not a good person.
No.
Was that the underlying motive, do you think?
Yes. It's gotta be.
Yeah, I think the underlying motive was somewhere between that and getting Jennifer Lopez to start getting some of those Angelina Jolie roles that Angelina's not taking anymore.
Oh, fair. Yeah.
What? I'm sorry. Was that too far? Was that too much?
Nah, that was perfect.
The second half of this movie, I forgot it was Jennifer Lopez for a minute. I started thinking it was Angelina Jolie because, they tried that.
What, did you see somebody get spattered with Botox?
You are hot today. You are on a freaking roll, buddy.
He had to make a splash on his return.
Right.
Get involved. Oh man. So they go. She teaches her how to shoot salt. She teaches her how to shoot bullets. I think it's interesting. I just referenced Angelina Jolie and then said she teaches her how to shoot salt.
But hey, that's an Angelina Jolie movie.
Exactly.
But bum.
She gives her a wrist blade so she knows how to fight with a knife and
Assassin's Creed style.
Right, but she never teaches her how to be aerodynamic when she fights.
Right.
Can
we just mention that she actually tried to use it and then it didn't use it very poorly?
I mean, she only stabbed him once, but just because you gotta hit him and keep hitting them until they don't hit back. And it was like she's 12.
Yeah,
that's not even the point. It's like she used it and then she poked him in the shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. That's more than I expected.
She's 12 and she's never killed a man before.
Hey,
that's more than I expected her to do with it. Honestly,
I know some 12-year-olds that'll take your head off right now.
All right, well, yeah, all right.
We grew up different.
They aren't being directed. They aren't being directed. Just so we're clear. Yeah. Too deep. Sorry. They also plant mines around this wood forest. They wake up one morning, the mother. I was trying to remember her name, honestly. The mother, the person whose name we don't have.
Like
she
the
wakes
bride.
up to find out Zoe is gone. Yeah, like the bride, exactly. She wakes up to find out that Zoe is gone, and then she goes out to find that Zoe has snuck out to play with the pups Zoe gets her freaking hand bitten because she's already been told that these ain't pets.
Yeah,
The
there's
wild
just,
wolves.
there's just wolf puppies hanging out.
Shit.
What?
Yeah, because the mom was, I guess, still injured. Hey, Corey says it sounds like the Mad Mikkelsen Polar movie kind of. But the one was a noir that one was a noir satire thing on spy thrillers. Was this one taking itself seriously, or was there a noir comedic tone? I don't think there
No.
was anything comedic about this
Right.
movie. Anyway.
I never saw the movie you were referencing, but this
We did a
movie was
review
trying to
on
be
it.
serious.
Polar. I think I saw Polar. I think that's Clive Owen. No,
No, it's Mads Mikkelsen. We did a review on it, Keelan. Come on.
shit,
It's on our channel.
Mads
Yeah, that one was decent, but it's definitely, this movie's not self-aware at all.
I feel like
It's
Polar reminds
very
me of.
earnest.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, they're trying to be very serious with this movie,
Mhm.
and it's never mind.
See, I tried to save you. If I remember correctly, Polar reminds me of the Clive Owen movie Shoot 'Em Up a little bit.
Probably. We also watched that Mr. Nobody.
That was good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that.
Nobody was good. Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, I could. I don't remember Polar right now. But I'm really thinking. You're saying Polar, or he's talking about Polar, and I'm thinking of Shoot 'Em Up, Paul Giamatti, and Clive Owen.
That was a good one.
Polar was pretty good. We did a review on it, so you can go check out what we. I don't know what we rated it. I forget.
I want to say that was like the Ultra Neon movie, right?
No, that was a different movie.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we've done a lot of movies, man.
The Black Kaiser.
What?
Wasn't that his name?
Oh yeah, yes, I think so. Right.
Okay, so I remember the movie somewhat. Okay, got it. Anyway, let me get back off of that. Yeah, Corey, what I'm doing, Corey, is I'm trying to correlate your reference of the movie to what we saw in this, just to give you an honest response. But I don't. It's weird because we did see that movie.
No, you got it right. Corey says eye patch, Black Kaiser. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
yeah,
the same
yeah, yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, that was more comedic. That was actually more entertaining than this.
Much more. Yeah.
That was more entertaining than this. And keep in mind, that's with me confusing it with two other movies, and I still remember enough of it to know that was more entertaining than this was. But hey, you know what? Hell, we can go back to Smoking Aces if we just want to talk about spy-ish movies. The
only thing this movie was missing.
That's a Rabbit Race.
Mm-hmm. The only thing this movie was missing was Ben Affleck.
Wasn't he in it?
Which one was he?
You get it. No, that was the point. Yeah, you get it.
He was the old man.
Well, no, to be clear, too, just for those who may not have caught it, my point is, if Jennifer Lopez is around, even if Ben Affleck is in it, even if Ben Affleck is in it, isn't he in it?
Guys, I have the movie pitch right here, and I think that if you guys green like this, we can make millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith 2 with J-Lo and Ben Affleck.
I think they pitched that before.
Did they?
I feel like that's been pitched.
Oh. I mean,
I feel like that's been pitched.
I know I would hate it, but I know it would make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. I mean, call it Geely 2?
Yeah, you could call it Geely 2.
I know I would hate it, but it'd make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
All you have to do is have Ben Affleck play Mrs. Smith.
Ooh. He's not wrong, ladies and gentlemen. We just don't have a real response for him. So
he's got to reverse that, and then it'll make all the money you need it to, because it'd be woke.
He's not wrong, ladies and gentlemen. We don't know how to respond. So Zoe gets her hand bitten, and they go off to the clinic.
Great. Hey, now we got copyright.
Shit. No, he didn't exceed the. There's a particular amount of seconds that has to be exceeded, right. I believe, and we were talking over him at the same time. So we covered our bases.
We're good.
So after Zoe gets bitten, they go to the clinic, and she forgets to tell Zoe not to give up her name. She gives up her name. She has to ask Johns to take her, but Zoe goes and finds the information that she left Johns to give her, an apology letter telling her who she is. She's the killer, she's her mom, and this is the way she shows love. And she decides, well, she showed me how to drive. Let me take John's car and go on ahead and go back. Because there's an entire freaking militia coming.
A well-regulated militia.
Yes, on snow speeders.
Video game tactical precision.
Gotta love this movie. Everything about it.
I mean, hey, after she steals the car, she goes back to help. But of course, she herself becomes the target and the problem.
Who saw that coming?
Right. And also, don't forget, she threatened to shoot the mother because she felt like she wasn't going to take her back.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're going to take me back. You know what it made me think? It made me think that at least one of the writers on this movie was in the writing room for the ending of The Last of Us. That's it. That's the whole statement.
I forgot about that show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sorry.
Is that still around? Did we miss episodes?
No, we finished that. We're waiting to see what they do next. What do they do next? What Matt Margera said.
Well, with any luck,
you guys remember House
get
of the
everybody.
Dragon?
Who? They're coming out with a new one.
When?
I think they said in like 4 years.
Yeah, bro, that sounds about right. Yeah. Stay tuned, 2028.
Right.
But got me. I was sitting over there like, what?
They've already rebranded and everything. It's no longer HBO Max. It's just Max.
They got to stop doing that. Can we have a moment to address that? Because first it was HBO Go, then it was HBO Now.
No, first it was HBO, then it was HBO Go.
Right. Then it was HBO Now, then it was HBO Max, and now it's Max. All within the span of 10 years.
And I want to say
we can't do that to your brand.
We missed at least 2 changes in there. I think we missed that.
Well, that's because it got bought out a few times by different companies, and then they lost a lot of deals. I think WB pulled out. Warner Brothers pulled out. Because
so what is it? Time Warner?
No, Warner Brothers is still there.
Oh, that's Warner Brothers.
Oh,
yeah.
Or maybe that's.
Okay.
I think what you're saying is now. Maybe that's why they went Max.
Right, because it used to have like Studio Ghibli and a bunch of other stuff attached to it, and Looney Tunes and
Harry Potter.
Yeah, a lot of stuff is gone now, so I don't know. You had to download a whole new app.
Yeah, for sure did. That app don't even work.
Nope.
Well,
no, it legit doesn't. I think I was trying to use it like a night ago or something like that.
Oh, yeah, you have to download the new app.
No, I know. I was using the new app, and it still didn't work because I was trying to scroll through movies and nothing would load on the page.
I'm like, shit!
Okay.
I downloaded it. I looked through it, and I didn't see anything worth watching, so I just went back to anime.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. All right, we could talk a little more about how terrible Max is. Oh wait, Corey has a comment on that. And the streamer seems to have fallen off basic. Did we miss the first message?
No.
Okay.
It's adding on to what we're saying.
Got it. And the streamer seems to have fallen off basic functionality a bit too, from what I can tell. The streamer.
Yeah, the Max.
No, they made it. In my opinion,
it doesn't work as well.
It 1,000% doesn't work as well, but it also seems more child friendly.
You know what?
Maybe.
And what's funny to me is, remember a few years ago I told you guys people are going to start getting tired of all these apps.
Yeah.
It's just cable repackaged. We're just buying cable again, guys.
Well, but see,
the consumer is paying directly for each channel.
And people are getting tired of having to deal with that. They're tired of having to pay, even if it's $4.99 for one. People are tired of paying these separate bills for the same content that they used to get with a cable service that had all of it in one spot.
Well, that's why we should just create one company that can buy up all of these brands, and then we can have one spot for everything.
Sounds like Apple.
I mean, yeah,
Or
that's what they want for sure. But they want to just put us back on cable packages, so
Right.
you'll just have your streaming package.
But that's why I said people are gonna do that. That people are gonna get tired of paying for all these separate services, and they're gonna go back to one service, and then we'll be right back at cable TV.
Well, that's what
$250 a month.
Right.
Right. It's a little cheaper than that, but essentially, what people essentially are doing is you get packages like Sling TV, YouTube, where you can actually add particular networks and services
Right.
based on their tiers.
Right.
Yeah. So those things do exist already, and they're already thriving, in my opinion.
Are they?
Yeah, they're doing pretty well.
Did you see where Disney Plus lost 4 million subscribers?
Well, a lot of them offer live sports. Disney has that through Hulu.
Mm-hmm. Disney is an ESPN too.
Yeah.
Comcast still owns a part of Hulu though, a good portion of it. Disney's trying to buy it.
Make your money.
They trying to, but they won't sell it for less than like 27 billion. And so there's contention there. They're trying to compel Comcast to sell the rest of it.
I hate Hulu, by the way.
I don't like it either.
I paid for no ads. There's no such thing as no ads on Hulu.
I was just about to say I made that mistake too. Don't worry about it.
Really?
That's false advertisement, man.
Because they'll say no ads, you're gonna get Hulu ads. If you're interrupting my show and there's a little thing in the corner that says ad and there's a ticker and I can't skip it, that's an ad.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like I remember distinctly that they were like, "Oh, if you get Hulu Plus, you get ad free," and I upgraded.
The only thing that comes with Hulu Plus is a bunch of shit nobody watches. You know what? Can we?
I guess we can get back on track and talk about this.
That's what makes Netflix still better to me than all of them. No ads.
Corey says, "Well, if you add all of them up ad free, it probably is getting back up there to cable bill prices." No, Corey, it's 1,000%. Let's ballpark. We could run through a quick one. If you're paying for Netflix, YouTube, and Hulu alone, you just hit $50.
More than that, because YouTube is like $30 by itself, isn't it?
YouTube is about $25.
Who's paying $30 a month for YouTube?
But that's what it is for live.
Because you get like the live content plus you get the.
I get live content on YouTube when I just subscribe. Oh, right. Okay. So yeah,
it's about $15 for Hulu because you get Hulu, Disney, and ESPN. Right, some ESPN. So that's right there. That's the 50, and then so actually we're over that. So we're actually at about 70 because Netflix is what, like $12.99, 15, something like that.
I think it's like 16, $17.
So we're at
Max went down.
And and now some of these things you can get with free subscriptions, but my point is to respond to Corey, you're already paying about $70-$80. So you're already paying cable prices and you're not even getting 500 channels.
Well, you're not paying those high taxes that you get on the cable bill, because with cable TV, you might be paying for a $70 package, but you're still not getting away with it being less than like $130 after taxes.
That's true.
But you kind of are getting 500 channels, because I remember having cable and there often wasn't anything to watch.
Yeah, you weren't.
If you're on Netflix, and if you're on Netflix, there's not a whole lot to watch on Netflix.
And keep in mind, of the 500, at least 70 of them are duplicates.
Yes.
Yeah, because you get the regular channels and then you get the HD channels. They duplicate HD channels.
Yeah, but you're paying for something that 8 times out of 10 you can't view. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Let's try to talk about this, Jennifer Lawrence.
We were actually right at the end of this.
Which J-Lo was that now?
Not J-Law. J-Lo.
Oh, wow. You did that, didn't you?
Yeah.
This one was a fly girl not being fly to get the job.
But Jennifer Lawrence was in that damn Red Sparrow movie, so this is kind of the same.
Dookie. Okay.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of the same.
Like, I might say Jennifer Lawrence was lucky enough to get into a lot of movies, apparently.
Well, I don't know about.
I don't know if we would call that luck or guac.
That's why I said it. Like, I'm gonna over talk on purpose because I know we're all saying it. We're all thinking it. We're all saying the same thing. But that's why I
Yeah,
said what I said.
got it.
She got
All
that
right.
got
Right.
3000.
Come on, come on.
What?
So she became the target once again. This time we're talking about Zoe becoming a target. Now, Zoe gets to the salt gun after her mom is snatched up, and everything's kind of just went bad at this point
Yeah,
because
she scares them off a cliff.
yeah.
And then she thinks that she killed her mother, and it's like, well, what was your plan?
Yeah, she thought she killed both of them. Apparently, come to find out, no, you hit her who doesn't have a flak jacket anymore with a salt bullet or a salt pack, and the
Salt
guy,
rocks.
yeah,
Rock salt.
and the guy who did have his flacking on, 30 seconds later, he's on your ass. Didn't think that through, but this is the proof to me that she didn't teach her to survive too well.
She's 12.
She's 12. Yeah,
Exactly. So what could she have taught her?
Nothing.
Right.
Nothing. She could barely lift that gun. I mean, you could tell that she was straining.
I'm
to
surprised
hold
she
that
wasn't hurting when
shotgun.
she shot it. Like, it's a shotgun, yo.
Mhm.
If I shoot a shotgun with the butt on my belly, I'm gonna be in a lot of pain for the next week or two.
Ouch. Yeah.
But 12-year-old girl
Yeah.
does it. It's all right.
Because I know when I was 12, I actually shot a shotgun. Yeah, it ain't pleasant.
Put your whole shoulder out of socket.
Yes, it can. Very easily.
Look, and that's if you was holding it the right way. It just that was your
I
day to be
was.
hurt.
And
That was your day to be
I was a decent sized kid too. It wasn't no punk.
Hey, too bad that's how you got to say it nowadays. A decent sized kid. We know what that meant back in the day.
Right.
It's
I was the
hey,
fat
don't mess
kid.
with him. Look, hey, don't mess with him. Why?
Right.
Might sit on you.
Right.
We should really try to talk about this Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah. Jennifer Lopez remembers back in the day too when it was cool to just joke and riff on people and it was fun because it wasn't meant to hurt. Anyway,
It's not.
back to this Jennifer Lopez movie. So yeah, she shoots them with the salt rocks off of the side of the cliff, and Adrian still ends up snatching her up, throwing her in the car, and they're driving away. That's when the mother rolls over and grabs the rifle and realizes that she's about to lose her baby, and she fires one rifle bullet. And I'm thinking, I thought she was this dead shot, but it's
Right.
a moving vehicle, and she's hurt. And she's in snow, and she's at a lower level, and it's like more than 1,300 yards away. And they say she's only efficient up to 1,300 yards. But hey, who am I? How would I know how far 1,300 yards is? And then she shoots again, and you see blood splatter on the window. And I swear, because this movie is so dark,
We all hope for it.
man, I was like, oh shit, she didn't hit him.
She hit the kid.
I guarantee you, we all kind of was hoping, like, man, I hope she shot the kid too.
See, the word hope that you're using there is the one I'm not going to let you trap me in. But I was curious.
I was concerned.
Concerned.
Is concern really the right word?
Curious is the right word for me. Nick was concerned. I was curious. I was like, uh-oh, what they do?
I guess my cynical mean ass was hoping.
Tragedy. So she does hit Adrian, and then we don't see her get up and get to the kid. We see the kid kind of running over to her. And I'm like, again, this was more than 1,300 yards because it took her all of 7 minutes movie time to run across the snow. She gets to her,
and she was running funny in the snow.
Super funny. I'm telling. Listen, don't think I was just taking shots at this kid. Like, they could have gave her better running practice. I don't blame her. I blame them. So yeah, J-Lo got her baby back. She saved her. And now we see at the end of everything, she's gotten her back home to her parents, not her mom, her parents, plural. Father is definitely there the entire time. Mom has a spouse. They're present. She has support too. She wasn't by herself. But we also see the mother. So we don't know the adopted parent's name, and we don't know the biological parent's name. So we just have 3 parents that are descript. They're not real people. They're just there for Zoe.
Well, clearly.
Yeah. And then she's watching over her, and apparently the parents don't see it, and they have their little sniper moment. And oh, you shot me. Oh,
Right
because
through the heart.
If that little
and
girl did that in a school, she'd be investigated by the FBI.
Right.
You cannot do
I mean,
that.
that is
You can't even use finger guns in school.
No.
none of that. I'm just trying to figure out. You're watching over her. Why are they in the same park she got kidnapped in? That's bad parenting.
Was it?
Yes, because
Yeah, a traumatic place. That kid should not be there.
I think I didn't care by that point in the movie anymore.
Oh, they didn't either. But no, yeah, there was nothing for us to hold on to at that point. But what I'm trying to figure out is why is she watching over the kid at this point? I mean, she killed everybody.
right.
Oh,
She's
because
still
he can now
staring
be
at
a
her,
part of her life.
No,
but
but
she's still
not.
staring at her through a sniper scope.
She's just a creepy little stalker.
Well, that's because she's a creepy stalker.
She's a Fairly Odd Parent.
I don't know what that means.
I'm not really sure. I guess they did show that there was like a picture, right? So it does imply that she is seeing the girl.
What do you mean?
I mean, because when she's looking at her through the binoculars, like a weirdo, I think that's her apartment. And
That's what I kind of thought.
Even though it looked like it was right adjacent to the parking lot she was shooting from.
Right.
This movie's a mess. Yeah, logistically it doesn't make sense, but yeah, I think that's supposed to be her apartment. But
Whatever
yeah.
do you mean? This movie was amazing.
I don't know.
We're not riding with you on that, Mike.
They got me. They got me. This movie was amazing.
We still haven't. We know what we haven't brought up. Adrian
There's
Lavelle,
more?
the guy who was burnt by. Well, yeah, the guy who was burnt by the tea tree bomb.
Mm-hmm.
What we haven't mentioned is all of his face was burnt on one side, except for things like the soft areas, his eye, his lips, his ear wasn't like singed off. He just had real graft skin like Freddy Krueger. And
Yeah, there were glamour burns.
yeah,
Yeah.
only in the central areas, so that it was still stylish.
Well,
You leave Voldemort's brother alone.
Well, he got to get some scratch.
Yeah.
So it was a cool scar.
That's funny. Cause I run with it. I'm running with it. But yeah, that's pretty much where this ends. She kills everybody. She stalks the kid for the rest of eternity, and for all we know, Zoe's gonna go into the FBI and become a sniper and be, female crews for somebody else.
I felt like that was a journey. I'm tired.
Yeah, I know.
I would have rather listened to a Journey album, but hey, we got through it. And there's
No
nothing wrong
argument.
with Journey, for the record.
No.
At least
Well,
Journey's talented.
Yes. Yeah. Well, okay. So what do we want to do with this? Throw it in the ocean.
Journey Smolier. Sorry, there's so many different journeys in the world.
Right.
Yeah, let's give some final thoughts. Any other important factoids that you guys thought of or noted that you want to mention before we get into our final thoughts and ratings?
Nothing that's appropriate.
Yeah. Was there any music?
No, I don't remember any.
What, J-Lo didn't sing a rap?
Shit.
That would have been fresh. I would have really enjoyed
it. Nick, you never used the word fresh.
I know, right. I did that thing.
I just had to mention that was so out of character. It was
That's why I said dope.
Interestingly good. It was like fresh.
I was to be a compliment to how corny it would be to have
J-Lo rap. Satirically corny.
Yes.
That's what I caught that immediately. That's why I said
I knew that it wasn't. I knew it wasn't genuine. I'll say that much.
No.
The angle was throwing me off. The music is by Jermaine Franco. I had to look it up. Jermaine Franco? No.
I mean, he just.
He got. Listen,
I feel like there was some rap music in there.
No,
that I remember.
I guarantee you, he got a check, and he said, "I can't believe they pay me for this shit."
Right.
Fair.
I mean, I think a lot of people probably say that.
Oh, for sure. Like, there's probably like 3 days out of the year where it's like, man, I worked for that. Outside of that, thank you. Corey says J-Lo struck gold playing Selena. This is true. Playing a new starlet unaccustomed to success was also her at that time, just coming off of being an obscure video girl, so she could really play that role. Yeah, no, absolutely.
You mean a fly girl?
I agree. She should go back to rom-coms. Yeah, rom-com, psychological thrillers. I think that is her wheelhouse. What happens, in my opinion, is you get stars in one area, and then they become kind of mega stars in other areas, and nobody tells or nobody thinks to tell them that, hey, in this world over here, you're multifaceted. In this world over here, this is your niche.
No one wants to see the Mary Sues.
And you know what? To in their defense, can you really tell the person who's doing everything that you want to do something? Are they really going to listen to you? Not likely.
No.
So, hey, at least you got this one done. I don't know what else to say.
She tried it. I think that there probably won't be another, but that's okay.
If there's a Mother 2,
what are you talking about? There's going to be a Mother 2.
I'm sad. You know what? I'll say that actually. The fact that the name of this is called The Mother and Netflix already had 2 other movies named Mother or The Mother is like, you're not even trying.
You know what's weird is mother is one of those words that if you stare at it too long, it starts to make less sense.
I get it.
Moth her.
Like fat her.
Mott her. Yeah. It's one of those very strange words.
Now, can I just say that never mind.
Can say never mind. Yes.
I thought I was gonna make a point, then I realized I ain't got nothing.
He was like, I'm not about to beat this with a blunt bat.
Right.
That's not sharp, people. Just anyway. Final thoughts for me. Oh, sorry, but
no, I was just gonna say, but the J-Law movie, The Mother, was good.
Oh, right.
Yeah, actually.
That was actually really good.
Yeah. Like
Aronofsky.
I still recommend that one.
Movie.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what that movie's about, right?
It's about the mother.
Yeah, it's about the mother. Let's talk about that off air so that we don't confuse the two.
Okay.
All right. I mean, I do remember, but just because that's an intersection right there. We bring that up during this one. That's a hard intersection.
Yeah.
It's
worth talking about.
So this movie, The Mother, J-Lo. This is my final review or my final thoughts. My final thoughts. All of them throwing their guns away and having these hand-to-hand combats are dumb. But a lot of the fighting was done because J-Lo's a dancer. And they wanted to showcase her being able to follow steps. Did I hate this movie? No. Did I like this movie? No. Would I tell someone else to watch this movie? I actually think I know a few people who would really enjoy this movie. I don't think this movie is made for me, but if I'm being clear, I'm not sure who this movie is made for, and I don't think it's typically just made for women because it is a kind of a woman empowerment type of a film. But I don't think because of that alone that it's made for women alone. I'm just not sure who it's for. That's really my main take on that. From there, didn't hate the action, didn't hate the acting, but the storyline, the plot, the follow through, the dialogue, the script, all of that challenging as hell to really be too into. With that being said, I'm going to give this movie a 3, which was my original score. I'm not going to take that point off. I said I was taking off earlier. As Nick said, he did kind of save that point. So for me, this is going to get a 3 out of 10.
Fair enough. I'll go next. I gave this movie a 3, and I'm going to tell you why. The only redeeming thing about this movie for me was Ghost. Because he was a whole vampire who came back several times.
Several times.
That's the only time we really wanted him to.
At least 3 times. And the last one was pretty major.
Right. I'm sure he's still around. We just don't know it yet. Yeah. That's when Mother 2 comes out. We're going to see him come back.
This in the corner.
All shenanigans aside, this movie was snacks. It was Dookie snacks.
Yeah.
I can't honestly say with a good conscience that I would recommend this because I feel like that would tarnish my reputation as a person, not as a moviegoer, but as a human being.
Oh, I tell them the truth, but I'd still tell them maybe they like it because I know people who actually have told me this is a good movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
I put this movie on the same level as Wendell in the Wild or whatever it was called.
Hey, Wendell and Wild was better than this.
We don't need to
Not
open
by
up that
much.
conversation.
We can have this discussion off air, Wendell. No.
So that's where I'm at. I'm gonna leave it at that. Nick.
Yeah, no, I think I'm there with you guys. 3 sounds good to me. I mean, like I didn't hate the movie. I just don't think that there was anything very notable about it. Yeah, I think Jennifer Lopez kind of did okay. I don't think she was given a whole lot to, like sink in her acting chops if she has any. But yeah, the fighting was uneventful. The action, not very clever. And I think that if you're going to do one of these movies, you should try to be a little bit more clever with how the hero kills all these people. And yeah, the story was just not very good. So I think it's a 3, but I didn't hate it. That's kind of the weird thing. It's like I should hate it, but I didn't. So 3 is cool.
So with that being said, snacks.
Yeah. 9 out of 30.
Subpar for sure.
Yeah, it gives a 9 out of 30. Corey says the etymology says mother is a suffixed form of actual baby talk. Like the very first thing people can say is ma, and in various cultures, the suffix is different. Wow. Okay, thanks for that, Corey.
Mater, which is where we get the German. Yeah. Interesting.
Which means their dialect is more natural. So yeah, with the etymology of the word mother, the rating of a 9 in the in the park of 9 out of 30, which means this is a 3 out of 10 across the board. By all means, check this out. Tell us what you guys think about it. Hop in the comments, send us an email. Not really sure what you're thinking when you're watching this one, but I do know some people who told me this was a good movie. I know some people who recommended it. I know some people who were like, "Oh man, when you guys review that, I'm gonna go ahead and watch that because I want to know what you guys thought because I really liked it." And I'm like,
"No, you're gonna break their heart."
Whatever.
I'm ready for that fight.
Right? I'm like,
I got gloves. I'm ready. Let's do it.
I tell you right now, they could be all the upset they want. All I want to know is what were their favorite parts of this movie?
That's a very fair question.
My question would be, would you pay full price to see this in a theater?
That is a good question too. Also, here's something I've learned from myself doing these reviews. I can dislike a movie, but I'd still watch it, or I could like a movie and still give it a bad rating.
Clearly. No, I 100% agree with that because I like a lot of terrible movies.
Me too. Definitely.
I genuinely like some terrible movies. We've reviewed a few of them that I genuinely liked, and I know they're terrible.
Wendell and Wild.
You did really like that one.
Yeah, that's what that was.
He brings it up so much. Similar to us in The Empty Man.
Hey, yeah.
I don't even remember that one. No, you said you guys love Paper Tigers.
Oh yeah.
Yes. That's my personal favorite.
That one is
go check out the episode on that one.
Paper Tigers and Empty Man in the 3 T's. Top tier terrible right there.
I think we should put together a playlist of the worst because those are some of the best conversations that we have.
Down for that, yeah.
Then let me throw one in there. A Dungeon Siege. Jason Statham, Ray Liotta. He plays a wizard.
Yeah,
he plays a wizard from the Bronx.
See, we'd have to review it. Don't do that. That didn't even sound like a good movie.
No, it doesn't. It sounds really bad.
Which one of them play a wizard? How about that? That's
Ray Liotta plays the wizard.
Nope. See, they didn't even do that right. You're supposed to put, hey. He's supposed to be the wizard.
Forget about it. I'm gonna throw a fireball at you.
Yeah, no. Nobody likes an Italian wizard. What is this? A pizza party?
Mhm.
No disrespect. Um,
Rest in
yeah,
peace.
yeah. Oh,
Because
right.
he was still a good fella.
I actually forgot Ray Liotta passed away. Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah, he was
Um,
still a good fella.
and a good actor, actually. With that being said, here we are at the end of the Mother review, which is a good place to be because halfway through the Mother review, you'll be wondering, man, when are they gonna stop dragging this movie? Oh, hey, standpoint principle, as shared by Corey. Your experience of the art is subjective and real. Can't be invalidated by anyone else unless you watch the screen time continue.
Right.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
But
We've
no,
been known to
absolutely
change
correct.
each other's minds in these
Yeah, we have.
conversations.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
But no, you're absolutely right, Corey. Art is definitely interpreted by the viewer, and that is why a lot of terrible movies in some of our eyes are considered some of the best movies in history, and some of the best movies in history aren't even mentioned. But that's true across the board because that is a consumer's environment. We all get to choose what's good and what's bad for us.
Anaconda is a terrible movie by all
Oh
metrics,
my
but it's
God.
awesome.
House
Yeah.
on Haunted Hill, 13th
Yeah.
Hey,
floor.
wait, whoa.
Listen,
Hawk on Haunted Hill was awesome.
We're giving examples of bad movies we think are awesome.
I
thank
actually like that. I thought it was a good movie. The
Nick
original and the remake. I like Vincent Price.
Nobody dislikes Vincent Price. That's not what we were discussing here.
I know. I'm just saying. I
See, look,
disagree with you on that.
now you sound like a one of those basketball guys I be arguing with, moving the goalposts. I did not bring up Vincent Price. We're simply naming, like Nick said, bad movies by review and by critique.
But you know, I'm biased on horror movies.
This is true. Okay, Crash. Crash is kind of a bad movie, but I like it.
I won't argue that one. Okay, I'll give you that.
Everybody talks about how great it is, and I always go, "What'd you like about it?" I have to write papers on this movie, so please.
Ludicrous.
Yeah, most people ludicrous. Anyway, yeah, art is definitely subjective to the viewer, and with that being said, that's why we encourage people to come on in, check us out. All of the shows we have through across the week, we critique things here, we review things here, but through our other shows, we do our best to just give you guys different forms of art, different mediums of information. And by all means, if you have the time to go ahead and take a gander at your screen right now, there is a template up there for you. And it's going to have a list. That list is going to have a plethora of shows, a cacophony, as you may call it. Those shows are as listed. Go ahead and check them out. They'll be on all of your platforms that you can think of. Put these into those platforms. You have different days to check them out, but I'm just going to give you the names. If Numbers Could Talk, Screen Time Continuum, hey, you're here right now. Strawberries and Coffee, as well as the King of Ilion, King_of_Ilion, Strawberries in Coffee. Those are over on Twitch. Exofathom and This Married Moment. Go ahead and check all of those out. So all of the platforms, again, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, Spotify, you name it, we claim it. But definitely, guys, I mean, hey, check this movie out, but continue to check out the reviews that we bring to you guys because the art will continue to flow and so will our opinions. It's just that clean cut. That's all I got, guys. Anything else?
Sounds good.
right.
Mike, I think you're gonna choose the next movie. So
The next one, I gotta think about it.
okay. Sounds
Next
good.
movie entitled Dookie Snacks.
TBD.
That sounds about right.
And just, with that being said, we appreciate you guys. Go ahead. Hey, Corey, thanks for tapping in with us, bud.
Thanks, Corey.
We are back, and we are glad to have you back as well. Tap in here to the Screen Time Continuum. Have a great week, guys. And for the Screen Time Continuum, my name is Keelan.
I'm Nick.
Mike.
Stepped on my outro.
Oh, my bad.
We're Nick, Mike, and